They say that lightning never strikes the same place twice, and in the brutal, unforgiving history of the World Cup, that old saying has become a law of nature. Think about the timeline. We have to go back over 60 years to find the last time a nation successfully defended its crown. 1962. The Brazil of Pelé and Garrincha. That was a different world, a different sport, a different lifetime. Since that moment, every single empire that tried to hold on to power has crumbled. Look at the wreckage left behind by modern history. France in 2002, Italy in 2010, Spain in 2014, Germany in 2018. These were not just defeats, they were humiliations. Champions who walked into the tournament as kings and were eliminated before the group stages even ended. It is almost as if the trophy itself is cursed. Why does this happen? Because the game devours its own history. When you win, you become the target. Every other nation spends 4 years studying your tactics, dissecting your weaknesses, and building the perfect weapon to destroy you. The hunger that drove you to the top is replaced by complacency. The legs that carried you get 4 years older. The tactical edge you had disappears. Just to win the World Cup once is a miracle. To win it twice, back to back, in the modern era of hyper-athletics and video analysis, is practically impossible. The physical demand is too high. The mental exhaustion is too deep. Logic tells us that no team can survive that pressure twice in a row. History tells us that the fall is inevitable, but logic has never really applied. To Lionel Messi, we are looking at history and saying it cannot be done. But he has spent 20 years looking at the impossible and making it look easy. Something fundamental shifted. The moment the final whistle blew in Qatar, you could see it in his eyes. For nearly 2 decades, Lionel Messi played with a ghost on his shoulder, the ghost of Diego Maradona, the heavy, suffocating weight of a nation that demanded a savior. Every pass, every shot, every failure was measured against the glory of 1986 for 20 years. He played with anxiety. He played with the desperate need to prove he belonged. He played to survive. But look at him now. The desperation has evaporated. The case is closed. He has completed football. He has won everything there is to win. And that creates a very specific and very dangerous paradox. Usually, when an athlete achieves their life's goal, the fire dies out. They lose their edge. But with Messi, the opposite has happened. The pressure didn't fuel him. It restrained him. And now that the chains are off, we are seeing something new. We are seeing a version of Messi who is playing purely for the love of the art. He is no longer calculating the risk of failure. Because failure can no longer touch him. His legacy is bulletproof. A man fighting for his life is dangerous. Yes, but a man who has already won, a man who is playing with absolute, total freedom, that is a nightmare for the rest of the world. He is not trying to force the outcome anymore. He is simply letting it happen. But we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to look at the cold, hard reality. Gemdi in the summer of 2026. Lionel Messi will be 39 years old. In the history of elite football, this is uncharted territory. We have zero data on a player of this caliber, attempting to conquer the world. At that age, Father Time is usually the only defender that you cannot dribble past. Biology is undefeated at 39. The body does not recover the same way. The burst of speed that used to leave defenders on the floor will not be there. If you are expecting to see the Messi of 2012, or even the Messi of 2022, you are looking for a ghost. That version of him is gone, but this is where the narrative changes. The question for 2026 is not, can he run for 90 minutes? We know the answer to that. The answer is no. But in this team, in this specific system, he does not need to run. The real question is, can he be present? Can he walk and watch and wait for 89 minutes? And then, in the one single second where the defense loses focus, can he still deliver the dagger? His legs might be 39, but his vision is ageless. If he actually does it, if Lionel Messi walks out onto that field in 2026 and lifts that gold trophy one more time, it will not just be a victory. It will be a glitch in the matrix. It would be a complete and total breakdown of how professional sports are supposed to work. Modern football is designed to be a young man's game. It is built on speed, on pressing, on physical dominance. A 39-year-old man walking his way to a world title? That is not supposed to happen. It defies physics. It defies logic. If he wins again, it will be the final, undeniable proof of the one thing we have all suspected for years, that while every other player in history, from Pelé to Maradona to Ronaldo, was playing a game, Lionel Messi was doing something else entirely. He wasn't just playing football, he was solving it. And in 2026, he might just solve it. For the very last time, they say lightning never strikes twice in the modern history of football. No one has defended the crown since Pelé's Brazil in 1962. Think about that. Over 60 years of failure. Why? Because the game devours its kings. The physical demand, the tactical scrutiny, the sheer exhaustion of staying at the top. It destroys dynasties. History says it cannot be done. Logic says it is impossible. But we are talking about Lionel Messi. And if there is one thing we have learned, it is that logic does not apply to him.